coaches, welcome to the Global Skills Showcase. My name is Dwayne Blatt, and thanks a lot for checking in. I'm excited to be presenting today, and I'll have my presentation in a minute. But real quick, just a little bit about myself. I'm from Northern Ontario up in Canada and started hockey at 9, so a little bit late to the game, but fell in love with it obviously, and was fortunate to play a little bit of junior and get a scholarship down in the States, and then played a little bit of professional hockey after that. I got into skill development probably when I was 14, 15, just helping out with some programs up locally in Sudbury. And then it's kind of become a passion of mine. And now it's what I do full time. So over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with the Nashville Predators at their development camp. I was with the Washington Capitals organization for 5 years, and which was awesome. So I worked a lot with the AHL and the NHL club, as well as prospects, and just working on skill development, little parts of their game to help them improve. I work with Western University here in London, and the Londonites I've been with for over a decade now, and just working with their players on skill development again, and just little pieces of their game that they can try to hone in order to get to that next level for those players that are trying to play professional hockey and trying to get to that NHL level. And currently we run Total Package Hockey and the National Skill Development Association, so online resource for coaches, and as well as full year-round hockey development. So it's been really, really cool to be able to do skill full time and find a niche in our market and have some fun with it. So it's been awesome. But I'm really excited to see all the presentations over the course of the next couple of days. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think skill is a big part of the game, and I think you're going to have some real good presentations from people that are in the trenches working with players and developing new techniques and new ways of teaching. So I'm excited to see that. And thanks a lot for checking in. And here's my presentation. Thanks.
Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name is Dwayne Blatt. Welcome to the Global Skills Showcase. I'm really excited to be presenting today, and the topic I'm going to discuss is the great skill of deception.
If we take a look at deception, I feel this clip defines deception. Now, we've all seen this clip many, many times from a highly skilled player. But what I'm going to talk about today is the 3 layers of deception. So if we take a look at McDavid coming in here and Riley, we're going to take a look at layer number 1. So for working with young players, how can we make it digestible for them to understand what areas of their body they can use to be deceptive? So whether it's a young player or even a pro player, looking at their body. So layer number 1 is going to be our head and our eyes. So where's our head looking? How are we looking? And here we can clearly see McDavid is looking like he's going to cut to the right side. The second layer is going to be our hands and our stick and our puck. So what are we selling with our hands and our stick and our puck? And the third layer is going to be our feet. And here you can clearly see everything that McDavid's showing right now is he's going to cut to the right side of Riley. And Riley ends up shifting his weight to his left side to counter that, and ends up almost getting into a bit of a cross, which allows McDavid to cut across here. So using his inside edge, he cuts hard, creates some time and space, and now he's able to capitalize on that time and space, drive the net. And as he's coming in here, he ends up using 2 layers. So you can see his head is looking at the net, his hands and stick are selling like he's going to go to the far side, and his feet are selling that he's going to go to that far side. So he looks like he's going to cut across that back post. And Campbell's got to honor that, and you can see Campbell kind of slide off, and McDavid ends up coming back to his forehand and putting it up over his shoulder. Now, this is a highly skilled play from a highly skilled player, obviously, but if we can just break down these 3 layers with players and help them understand how to use their head, how to use their hands, stick, and puck, and their feet in order to be evasive during games, it's going to help their overall game, help them create more time and space, obviously, and more plays with the puck.
I feel that deception really separates great players from good players. And the more we can help young players become deceptive, the better they're going to be as they get older and move up levels. Yes, there are players that just have a natural ability to be deceptive. Whether you gave a basketball, soccer ball, doesn't matter. They would have some swagger to them. They'd be able to be deceptive, look off a pass, take a shot, or look a pass off, move the puck. There's some players that just have that innate ability. But can we teach the skill of deception? 100% we can. In today's presentation, I'm going to break down how to teach deception into really simple steps. Now, when we think of deception, there's a lot of areas that we can touch on, from being a deceptive passer, being a deceptive shooter, right? Adding movement on the puck, throwing your eyes one way, shooting the opposite way. So there's so many different ways. So I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can, not to get off on too many tangents, but I want to really focus on the 3 layers of deception. So if we think of 3 layers of deception, we're going to have layer number 1 is going to be our head and our eyes. Right? So if I'm coming in towards you, I'm looking one way and I'm going to cut the other way, or I'm going to make a play the opposite way. I'm looking here, cutting across, right? Making my pass across my body without looking at where I'm going to pass. So my head and eyes are huge. So the second layer is going to be our stick and our puck. And how do we manipulate the puck with our stick right? And how do we show one thing when we're really going to do another thing? Meaning, if I'm coming in here, I'm showing this, but I'm going to throw it on my backhand. Or I come in this way and I can manipulate my blade to show like I'm going to chip it, shoot it, or pass it, and then I slide it across our body. So layer number 2 is kind of that stick and puck. Layer number 3 is going to be our feet. So how do I sell with my toe caps that I'm going to go one way, and then I'm going to cut the opposite way? Or how do I sell with my heels that I may be turning one way and then cutting back the other way, or adding a little shuffle and then coming out of it? So real simple ways to use our head and our eyes, our stick in our hands, and our feet in order to be deceptive. But what I'm gonna do today is talk about how to teach it and how to kind of break it down so players understand what they're doing, how they're doing, and why they're doing it. And I think that's one of the most important things with skill. Oftentimes players just go through a bunch of different repetitions, a bunch of different drills, not really knowing when, why, or where they're going to use this, right? So I think it's really important for players to understand, okay, this is why we're doing this with our head and our eyes. This is when we're going to use it. These are some situations that you can use it in, right? And then allow them to be creative with it. And I love the fact that, in practices, we talk a lot about, should I use obstacles on the ice? 100%. I totally agree with using obstacles on the ice, meaning pylons, chairs, cones, whatever you've got. I think there's something to be said about players learning patterns and having things to go around and making it a little more fun in practice for sure. But we need to remove those and then add some pressure, so some human element to it, right? So whether it's a coach or a player, but adding a little bit more than just a pylon standing there. Now you got a moving target that is moving and giving you a little bit of pressure, no matter what the skill is that you're working on or the drill, but adding a little bit of kind of pressure, and then adding game situations. So, okay, we're gonna see this in a game, this is what you're gonna do. Simple drill coming in here, but really focusing on that deceptiveness. So coming in, showing eyes here, coming in, showing eyes on the pass, and then right away shot. So now we just added a bigger obstacle. So basically some sticks and a bumper, a little fake, and then shot. Right, now we'll add a little obstacle here, so now we'll add pressure. So we take out the cones, take out the sticks, he's gonna shoulder check up ice, looking, and now he's coming in, little fake, cut, and then drive in for that shot. 6, 7 years ago, we didn't talk about deception much at all, and now it's something that we use in every single drill and pretty much all the skills we're teaching. We're trying to add some sort of deception as we're increasing that skill. When we think of deception and where to add it, where can we add it in practice? I think we can add deception in almost any single drill. So even if it's a simple passing drill where you're getting players to look off the pass, right? So they're looking one way, passing the opposite way, or they're making a play and moving it across. You can add this into any drill, the start of the drill, the middle of the drill. I think it's huge. And I think one of the biggest things with deception is getting players to understand their surroundings and be aware of their surroundings. And how do we do that? We've all heard the term shoulder check, and I'm gonna keep my terms very, very simple. I know sometimes they get a little elaborate and hard to follow as far as just the skill development terms in general, but if we think of shoulder checking, really simple, everyone knows what that is. Shoulder checking is as simple as just looking over our shoulders, right? When you tell young kids to do that, you're gonna see them just kind of whip their head side to side, right? Just kind of looking side to side. And I think it's very important for them to key in on an area, whether that's a jersey color, or if you're just doing it in practice, you can have players just coming up the board or coming up the middle, just looking side to side, but looking at either advertisement signs or a home and visitor bench, doesn't matter what it is, but keying in on something, right? Or even having players beside them where they're looking, seeing a color red, seeing a color black, seeing a color red, and looking around as they're moving through, but just focusing on something that they're looking at, right? And the more aware they become of their surroundings and the ice, the better they're gonna be. When I was young, and I'm sure a lot of us, it was head up, head up, head up. And that meant just stick handling with your head up, eyes up like this. Now when we talk about head up, it's looking around. So as you're stick handling, looking around the ice and making sure that you're scanning and you know what is around you. You're basically what's around your entire body.
Great clip on ice awareness. So we watch Nate Schmidt come back for this puck on the retrieval. And right here, we just watch his details. So if you look at, as he's coming back for this puck, we see 2 shoulder checks here. So he's coming back, he's looking for a defender on his left side, turns over to his right side. So 2 great shoulder checks. He identifies where that pressure is. And as he's coming in for this puck, we can see that he's selling like he might go behind the net with this puck. So you can see his feet trending like he's going to go this way. And then right at the last minute, as that pressure's coming on him, just a little bump up the wall, knowing that he's got some outlet out that side, and the puck is out. But a real simple play, but all starts with on-ice awareness.
When you're working with your team and you're teaching these 3 layers, again, they can be incorporated in any part of your practice. But having players focus on one area at a time. A lot of times we try to throw everything together, and then it makes it really difficult for the players to get it all together and be able to make it make sense and look smooth on the ice. So what we're going to do is just work on one spot at a time. So if we just look at our head and our eyes, all we're going to do is work on that for the first part. So it could be a simple drill where you're coming in, you're looking one way, and then passing the puck the other way. So you don't care about the puck, you don't care about the pass. You just want that player coming towards you, looking one way here, and then passing the puck the opposite way, right? So simple little drills. And again, as coaches, be creative. It doesn't really matter what the drill is, right? Realistically, it doesn't really matter what the drill, it could be a J drill. It's the components of the drill.
Here's a great clip of all three layers being used. So you can see head and eyes are looking at the net. You can see that stick. Those hands come out like he's going to shoot the puck, and his feet. So his eyes are looking at the net, his stick's going to the net, his feet are going to the net. And if we look at that defender, the defender's got to respect the fact that he might shoot, so the defender gets big to block that shot or try to get his body in front of that shot. And as he moves that stick out of the lane, he's able to feed that puck across to an open man who can score a couple goals with a good wide open net for the shot. The other thing too that's important here is the goaltender. So if we look at the goalie here, he's kind of freezing on this shot. He's already gone down, and now he's got to scramble to try to get back across his net in order to make that save. And as you can see here, we've got an open net. And that all starts with those three layers of deception right here. That little fake with the head, hands, and feet, and then sliding that puck across for the open net.
Now when we start isolating our stick and our puck, now we're just going to work on simple little moves with the puck, all right, to add some blade manipulation. So just turning that blade or opening that blade or closing that blade, right? So adding a little turn. So if I'm a lefty like this coming in, I just open it, pull it across. So with young players, just working on that simple move. Coming in, open that blade, pull it across. And begin stationary, real simple, open, pull it across. Open, pull it across. Open, pull it across. And then following that, we'd add something to that. So we'd add maybe an obstacle on the ice where we're going to come in, move, and then come across. And we're only working that middle part of our body. So our stick and our puck, just manipulating that blade. So many times you'll see players working on stick handling with their team or their coaches, and you just see, and going crazy, right? Those are not realistic moves in a game. I understand McKinnon and McDavid, they're insane, and Patrick Kane and all these players are unbelievable, right? But realistically, we're not going to be those players right off the bat. So we need to make stuff realistic, especially for young players. And then as they get older, we can add some different things to it.
There's another great clip of deception from Makar, who's obviously a high-end player, there's no doubt. But here you can see him just using that, again, that head and eyes, looking at that pass, like he's going to make that pass down the wall here. His stick opens up like he's going to make that pass, then a quick little pull across his body. Now he's got all kinds of time and space here to make a play. Again, eyes are going to the net here, so you can see his head looking at the net like he's going to shoot it on net. His stick is getting in an area like he's going to shoot, quickly pulls it back, and then slides it across to make that play. So simple little things, but again, using two layers. You can talk about his feet here a little bit as well, where here it looks like he might shoot the way his feet are pointed, but the defender kind of bites on it, has to respect the shot, and then scrambling to try to make that play. So again, great deception using the head and eyes and that stick, hands, and puck.
All right, so now that we've isolated our head and our eyes, our stick and our puck, now we're going to talk about just our feet. And what we're going to do with that is we're just going to have players work without a puck. I find a lot of times when players get a puck on their stick, they forget about everything else, right? They forget about their feet, they forget about their body. So a lot of times when we're working on movement with our feet, whether it's how to be evasive with our feet, we're working on Crosby turns or 10 and 2s, or we're working on anything, we'll try to get players to start off without a puck, and then we'll add a puck to it. So really simple, what I'd have players do to begin is just getting on their edges and going one way and then cutting the other way. Going one way and then cutting the other way. So just edging to start, right? So nice and smooth, nice and easy. Especially with young players, if you have young players just literally getting on their outside and inside edge, turning and then coming back, turning and then coming back. And the easy way to do that is just lifting that inside foot up and getting on that outside edge. Now the outside edge, obviously we all know this, is a difficult edge, especially for young players. So even if they are on their inside edges, right, that's fine to start. We just want them getting in that motion of going side to side. And again, as they get better at this, we want their head moving a little bit as well. So as they're turning side to side, they're looking, and then we can add a puck to that. And as these players get better, we want their turns to be quicker and faster and coming out of them with speed. And I'm sure you've all heard terms like punch jams or jam turns or different things like that. What we're talking about there is using our inside foot. So if I'm going to turn to this side of my body, so my left side. I'm gonna use my left foot to get me turning quick. So I'm gonna come in and almost like a 1 foot stop, and then that'll cut me on a 45, right? Or cut me across the ice on a lateral. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna turn this foot, and then come across that side. All right, so not gonna get too much into the details on that, but basically this foot's gonna, my left foot's gonna come out in front of me a little bit. I'm gonna be on my inside edge. I'm gonna push more on my outside edge, and then I'm gonna cut across. We don't wanna come in and go at high speeds. We wanna come in and kind of jam and then come across. So now what I'm doing is just working on my feet, coming in here, cut. Coming in this way, cut. So I'm coming up the ice, looking one way, cut. And then we'd add our puck to it. So now we're coming down the ice, and all we're doing is come one way, cut. Coming one way, and then cut. And just working on that footwork, right, of cutting those feet nice and quick, either left side or right side, getting comfortable with that. When we think about our feet, there's so many ways we can be evasive with our feet, right? We can add little open ups, right? We can add little shuffle, turn our feet. There's so much stuff that we can do with it. So incorporating our feet with our stick and our puck, and our head and our eyes is huge. And the more we can make them all work in tandem, the better we're gonna be and the smoother we're gonna be.
Here's a great clip by Krug, and we'll watch how he uses his feet here. So we can see him coming back. He's got his puck here. He's got a defender on him, and we can tell just by how he's shoulder checking, and again, those little details that he has in his game. So looking over his shoulders, he can identify that this forechecker here is kind of trying to squeeze him towards the wall, take away that passing lane. And now Krug's got the puck on his backhand side. Looks like he's going to put the puck up the wall. Again, the defender's in a good spot, trending towards the bench, kind of turning towards the bench. And we can see Krug right here. His feet are going, showing that he's going to potentially be curling up this way, or at least sending the puck up this way. And then Krug ends up turning nice and quick and then coming back the other way. And if we look at this, we look at the feet, there's that little punch right here with his inside foot. So you can see that inside foot right here just coming down on the ice and punching that outside edge here, coming around, and then now he's got all kinds of time and space to wheel the puck and break the puck out of his zone. So little things like that, but adding that layer, obviously his head, his shoulder check, he is deceptive with his stick, with just having the puck on his backhand, and then those feet showing one thing and then turning and doing another.
All right, so once you've isolated those three areas, then you're gonna wanna bring them together. And again, if players can nail two areas together, amazing. If they can stick all three together, it's even better. And start slow. Start really, really slow, and then we'll add speed to it as we get going. You're gonna go in and get it. We'll fake like we're gonna go down behind the net. So eyes, stick, feet. So coming in like this as a righty, shoulder checking, guys on ya. Little fake cut, and then a right away roll out. On the way up, flash it, and then pull it back down. So again, eyes, stick, and then cutting down on it. Just go really slow through it, but right, so I'll kind of give you a little bit of pressure. So you're coming in, shoulder check it, look in, little fake, and then cut, drive, little fake. Good, good, good. That's it. Even just that little blade manipulation, just to throw that defender. If I'm up here and I'm defending, and you show like you're gonna pass here, if I do that, now you've got a little bit of a lane to get going, you know, and a little bit of time space to get moving to that net, right? Same idea, just do one more here. So coming in, check it, add those eyes, fake it, good. Now drive, show it, good, good, good. If we look at it even from behind, so if I'm the forechecker want to get a puck, or I'm a defenseman going back to retrieve a puck, if I'm going back to get this puck right here, and I want to fake like I'm going to go this way, if I just do this, come back, that could work. There's no doubt somebody might bite on that. But if I use my head, my eyes, right, my stick, and my feet, it's a way different move. I come in like this, I fake, and then I can cut, and then come back, right? So adding those layers is huge for that deceptive piece. Good. So Hader, if you're here behind me, so let's say I'm coming in and you're a defenseman coming back on me, right? Or I'm a defenseman, you're a forward. But if I come in here and I just do this, no head, right? That's one thing. But if I turn my head, tell me if that adds a little bit more to it, right? If I come in like this, you're behind me, and I see ya, and I look this way, right? Adds a little bit more just by turning those eyes a little bit. You know what I mean? So getting in that, it's hard to do. It's really hard to do, especially under pressure, contact, all that stuff. But try to get that habit of just flashing that head quick. So looking, stick, like head's going, stick's going, feet are going, and then coming back. We'll go last one here. So coming in, flash it. Yeah, now go. Drive, 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 drive. Good. Good job. Good. So on this right here, when he's coming in, so stop right here. Now as you're coming in, you're attacking me, so you're going to keep coming in on me. And now you're going to be deceptive. So I don't really know what you're going to do, if you're going to go wide or if you're going to cut. But as soon as you turn up like that, so turn up with your blade, if you flash your hands like you're going to pass, now I move my stick, and then that gives you an option to go around me, right? So as you're coming in on this, go really, really slow through it, but same idea. Come in, flash your hands like you're going to make that pass, and then right away pull that puck around. So you're coming in, flash it, and then pull it around. Exactly. Try it again and really try to open up the blade. So when you come in, you're like, bang, like pop it. So you're like really flashing, like now I'm going to move my stick a bit, and then you're going to obviously fake, you're going to make that pass. So as you're coming in, go slow. So coming in here, open, and then exactly pull it around. That's it. That's good. Try it again, just slow like that again, then we'll add a little bit of speed to it. So coming in nice and easy, you're going to flash those hands, yeah, and pull it around, shot. Okay, now we're going to add our feet to that as well. So now when you come in here as a righty, you're going to come in here. You're going to come in as you're flashing, you're faking, and then you're going to pull it across right away. So you're adding your eyes, your stick, puck, and then your feet as well. So again, go real slow. So you're coming in, throwing eyes, quick, and then pull it across. Exactly. Yeah. That's the key, right? You're just starting off really, really slow and then adding speed as you go. So again, just go really slow. So coming in on me, attacking. Eyes are looking that way. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Good. One more time like that. Yeah, so you're exactly. So as you turn those feet, your stick handling quick, flash it, and then pull it. There you go. And it could be as simple, like, you don't even have to, like, if you're coming in with it, it's not even a heavy, like, handle. It could just be coming in slow and then pull it across. So as I look, turn my feet and then coming in. As I look, turn my feet and then coming in. Yeah. It's all that timing on that feet and hands, right? So feet and hands together. So eyes are looking that way, feet and hand, yeah, and then pull it across. That's it. Good. Let's do one more, just a little bit more speed. Not a lot, but just a little bit more speed. So coming in nice and smooth. Showing it. Yeah, and then going. Good. That's it.
On the attack here, and we'll see how subtle this little deception is. And again, looking at the layers of deception on this overhead, you can see Carlson coming in. Right here, he turns. His head's looking up ice here for where he's going to pass to the high guy coming in late. And all he does here is just flash his hands up ice like he's going to make that pass. So he's deceptive with his eyes and his stick, and then opens up that lane. And we can notice here that Tavares in the middle here, watch his stick. So as we open those hands up, that stick changes lanes to take away that pass and confront the shooter. And all of a sudden that passing lane opens up. Great cross-ice pass here to an open player for a shot and a goal. And if we look at it a little bit closer here, you can see in a little more detail, same idea. You can see his eyes. He identifies what's going on. It's a bit of a 2-on-2. He holds up. There's that punch again with those feet. So turning those feet a little bit here. He slows up. Right away his head turns up ice. Looking at his passer. Fakes that pass. And then a little no-look pass across the ice to a wide open player for an open net shot.
For all of us coaches who've worked with minor hockey, junior hockey, college hockey, or professional hockey, I think we all see and agree that deception is a big part of the game. And it's one of those skills that I feel we should be teaching and implementing in as much of the drills and skills as we can. So whether we're working on skating, shooting, puck handling, I think we always should have players being aware of their head, their eyes, their stick, their puck, and their feet. And again, being able to break skills down into really simple, digestible pieces for players. We all know sometimes players get a little overwhelmed and they get a little bit not sure what they're doing. So I think if we can break it down into simple steps, it makes it way easier on them. And again, for our deception, just really quickly, our head and our eyes are number one. So that's going to be our biggest piece. Our stick and our puck are going to be huge. How we're manipulating that, and then our feet. What are we selling with our feet? Are we going one way, cutting the opposite? Are we shuffling this way and then cutting back? So little things like that, if we can add that deception into our skills, into our practice, we're going to be able to create better players. And I feel that if you look at high-level players, those real elite and the great players, they have deception. And that's one thing that separates those great players from good players is how deceptive they are. How much time and space can they create just by flashing their hands or manipulating their puck or turning their head one way, passing the other way. So I think the more we as coaches can help players develop it, It's not easy, but the more time we spend with it, the more we implement this as some of those details in a player's game, the better they're going to be, the more time and space they're going to create, and overall, the more opportunities they're going to create in their career. So again, thanks a lot for checking in. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you on the ice soon. Thanks.